What's up everybody, Chill Scrub here. Today I'm doing a tutorial on Law. I know I haven't done a tutorial in a long time and I might as well do it with the character I know the most. The last time I did a tutorial on Law, it was just on how to deal with basic scrub setups like back 4, up forward 4, and gimmicky dragon tails and things like that. But today I'm going to go ahead and break into the character in a more advanced level. I'm going to start from the beginner stages on up. So far I'm going to start off with an overview of the character. When I think of Law, I think of a very poke heavy character, a very counter hit heavy character, a character that sets you up for counter hits a lot. Pretty much a great all around character and very pesky to deal with. Like his neutral and stand up game to me honestly is one of the best. He doesn't really excel at knocking the opponent down. He really excels to me when it comes down to getting that good counter hit that you need for that launch or that kill or whatever. So with that being said, let's start off with some of the basics with Law and some of the things that make him OP. Let's start off with some of his great tools. So he has a form, or magic form. Leads into great damage. He has his typical hop kick or flip kick. He has down back 3 is a good low. Down back 4 is a good low. It's a good homing low, but it's definitely launch punishable, so it's not one of them things that you just spam like that. Poking tools, of course, is down forward 1. His jab is great. It has a lot of range on it. He literally launches his body forward as he does the jab. He has his forward 1+2, a great lockdown tool. He had his banana peel. He has his down forward 4, his 12 frame. He has his forward 2, He has his 1, 2, and all his strings, all those great strings. His 1, 2, 3, all that. So when it comes to Law, to me, what I like to start off with when basic offensive tools, I like to set people up with the jab. I want to see how people react to his jab. He has a pretty standard jab, +8 on regular hit, +6 when you do the 1, 2. And I want to see how they react to the jab. And you add in a few lows, and then his mids are fucking god tier. So basically, when I play Law, I'll go ahead and use the back 4 a lot. 14 frame move. When you go into back turn, it's +6. When you just do it regularly and don't hold back, it goes +3. So it's one of those great tools you want to utilize. For his lows, I really like to do down back 3 a lot. I like to go ahead and do down 4 3 a lot. Sorry. I really don't go for dragon tail like that because I feel like it's too risky. It's not an option that you really need to use. But if you really want to put some pressure on your opponent, here's your knockdown low. I like to use down 1 a lot, another great low tool that he has. But let's get into the stuff that everybody wants to know. So when it comes to his launchers are very standard. He has the typical down forward 2, which is 15 frames, and on block is -7. It tracks one way. I'm gonna show you how to step it. Oops, sorry. So it tracks to his left side. So you sidestep it. Well, it tracks to his it tracks to his left side. So you step it to your left or his right arm. Oops. Late. So yeah, you step it to the left side as usual. He has a typical up forward 4 or a hop kick. You always punish with the 3-4, does a good chunk of damage, and on top of that it knocks down. Or you can go with the typical 1-1-2. Hop kick is great, of course, as we all know. Hop kicks they crush lows, all that good stuff right there. Another launch that he does that is really good and really strong is his while standing 2. While standing 2 launcher is, I think, 15 frame startup, and I think it's -17 on block. We can always go ahead and check. Easy launch. So yes, it's a great while standing launcher, 15 frames, extremely fast. Other launchers include his 3+4-4. Extremely good launcher. To me, one of his one of the things that makes Law extremely scary in the neutral game, the fact that he can literally do this if you whip anything from downtown, makes him extremely scary. When it comes to his frames, the thing that makes him all around is the fact that he has a decent punish at 10. He has a decent punish at 12 with his two string, 2-back 2-string. He has a great punish at 13. He knocks down at 13 with his 3-4, if I'm not mistaken. No, 12. That's his 12 frame punisher. At 12, he knocks down. At 11 frames, he gets his 4-3 Shaolin kicks into DSS. I'll go over DSS later. At 14, he gets 3+4, or he gets back 4-3, which is all 14 frames. At 15 frames, he gets his down forward 2 and his hop kick. Very generic character, very simplistic to use. If you're a rush down type of player, this is definitely the character for you. So let's go into his lows. So as I was stating earlier, a lot of his lows do not knock down. They just put you in a very bad position on the defensive end. So we can start with his banana peel, which is +4, 18 frame startup, and it crushes highs. He has his down 1, another thing that crushes highs. He has his down 3+4, a very underutilized tool. It's at -2, but not a lot of people are going to challenge after that. He has his down back 4, of course. He has his down 4-3, and he has his down back 3, one of the tools that you're going to use the most, which is +4. And most of his lows leave you in a situation where you can go for his while standing 4 into his DSS. I'll go over that later. So a lot of his lows, they don't knock down except besides the following. And the down back 3 on counter hit. That's one of the lows that knock down. So be cautious of that. Or I will spam it. Seeing as though it's like only -12, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, why is that -12? So yeah, you have that too. So you don't have to you don't have to worry about getting launched by characters like Kazuya, Josie. You don't have to worry about things like that. So it's one of those spammable lows where they have to react with a low parry, or they have to step it, and stepping it is not easy either. So when it comes down to his mid poking tools and high poking tools, as I explained earlier, he has his down forward 1, he has his down forward 4, he has his typical 1-2 strings, he has his forward 2, which is really good, he has his down back 4, which is 14 frames, he has his 4-3 shenanigans, he has his back 4, which you can spam over and over again, especially if you want to lock down an opponent and stop them from sidestepping, one of the great tools to use. And that's normally what I use when it comes down to playing Law as far as his poking game wise. I really, and his back two is really good, but the only thing is most people are going to parry the junkyard, so it's really not one of those options you want to go to and when you're playing in intermediate to higher levels. So I definitely want to go for junkyard there. Let's see what else we got. Again, this is all off the cuffs. This is my first time doing something like this. What else? Okay, so let's get into the meat when it comes down to Law. So when you see Law players sliding and all this great thing, people talk about Law's 50-50. I forgot to mention that's one of his lows that knocked down to the slide. I'm sorry for not mentioning that earlier, but I want to say that for its own segment, because this is one of his most powerful mix-ups where he goes into slide, he goes for the mid option, or he can go for the high damage option. Now the crazy thing about his wild standing or full crouch mix-up is the fact that for each option you have to step him a certain way. So if he does the slide, oops, sorry, trash. If he does the slide, you have to step it to the right. But if he does the oops, wrong side. Well, no, that is the right side. Yeah, see that? You gotta step it to the left. You gotta walk it to the left. Now, the other option, which is the most common option when you're dealing with the 50-50 mix-up when it comes down to Law, and it comes down to his full crouch mix-up, is the while standing 2, and you have to sidestep that to the other side, which is the left. So let's go ahead and get that going. So you end up seeing something like that, and you have to sidestep that to the left. That's what makes it really, really hard to deal with. The fact that with each option you have to sidestep it a certain way, so the best thing to do is not to sidestep at all. which makes it extremely strong. So if you're a Law player out there at the beginner levels or intermediate levels and you're not abusing the slide mix-up, you're missing out on a lot of good damage. And you have to punish the slide a certain way. And again, that while standing 2 that has a lot of pushback and recovers actually faster than a lot of people think. So you only have like a split second to do a launcher, or most times most people aren't going to go for the launcher. So I won't say it's safe, but online it is pretty much safe. So let's talk about that slide more and see how we can get into that slide. So there are a couple of options that Law has that put you in a full crouch situation. He has this down 1 that puts you in a full crouch situation. He has this his banana peel or down 3+4 that puts you in a situation where you're ducking. He has his down 3 that puts you in a situation where you're ducking. He has his down 3+4 that puts you in a situation where you're ducking. And he has his hammer of the gods or forward 1+2 that puts you in a situation where you're ducking. And in each one of these options, you can go for a slide mix-up. So I'll just take it from the top with the down 1. That's down 1. And then you have down 3+4. Oops, sorry. Oh my god. Then you have what was the other one? Shoot, I'm sorry. Is that down 1? Oh, down 3, which is very uncommon. Nobody really uses it, but it literally puts you in crouch. And on top of that, his last one, which is the most common one, which was just the one you're gonna use the most, is his forward 1+2 or hammer of the gods. Oops. And it puts you in real bad situations. The thing about the hammer of the gods is the fact that it puts you at +3 on block and +8 on hit. So on block, let's see what it looks like on block. Yeah, +3 on block. So it puts you in a situation where if they were to do something crazy, you could always just go ahead and pop the while standing 4, or you can just stay in the standing position and do a jab or a down forward 1, which is 13 frames. So it's things like that that you always have to look out for with Law when you're playing Law. Try to use all his options. He has a lot of options for a character that's not really that hard to use. Now, a lot of people wondering why I haven't gotten to the DSS yet, because to me, I'm being my honest opinion, DSS is not the core of this character. It's definitely one of the things you want to master if you want to maximize the character, but it's not one of the things you essentially need if you want to play Law. It's good to have it, but if you don't have it, okay. It's definitely good if you want to finish his combos and get his classic 4-3 legend kick ender. You definitely need that. But as far as when you're playing the neutral game and when you're poking, it's not really necessary. So while I'm already talking about the slide, and I did hint at the while standing 4, let's go ahead and get into some DSS stuff. So when it comes to DSS, you can DSS off a lot of punches and a lot of kicks. So you can DSS off of 1-2, and any 1-1-1-2 string you can do that too, or you can DSS off of the end of his 2 string. So it's not really useful. Not a lot of people use it. It's most people, or most intermediate or advanced level players, they do it off of 4-3. They do it off of while standing 4. Oops. And I think that's about it. But the thing about while standing 4 is you get to his options, which is when it comes to his DSS options, he has 2, which is a counter hit launcher, by the way. So again, going back to the whole thing what I was talking about earlier, where he's a very, very counter hit based character. So he got the 2. He has the 1. He has the forward 1. He has the forward, oops. He has the, I don't know why I keep charging, but he has the 1 forward 1. And he has some other options like another counter hit, forward 3+4. And of course, he has 3+4, 4. And these are a lot of his options. And he has a grab. I forgot he has a special grab out of his DSS stance. Now you can mix it up with the regular throw to throw him off. So yeah, a lot of his options, but most of the time when you're setting up your frame traps with Law, which is, again, he's a very frame heavy character, frame trap heavy character. So you end up doing things like, oops, things like that, where you do his DSS while standing 4 into forward 2 or into just regular 2 for the counter hit, fishing for that counter hit. And if you're good enough, which I know I'm not at the moment, to consistently get a while standing 4 counter hit DSS 3+4/4. Now, when it comes down to inputting the DSS, a lot of people have trouble with it. It's because they're either inputting it too slow or inputting it too fast. Now, when it comes down to the 4-3 DSS or the Shaolin kicks, I always input the back, because the input for me is back forward forward. That's what I always use for kicks, and I use for punches, I use back forward. So when it comes down to the DSS and you want to do a Shaolin kick version, I always wait till the first hit lands before I input the forward forward. So it's something like that. So once I see that first kick lands, I go straight into the forward forward input, and 9 times out of 10 I get it. When it comes down to the while standing forward DSS, I'm going to go ahead and mention Rip, because Rip is the one who taught me that. You get it off of the moment before the kick lands. You already want to have the back and the forward forward input in there, or at least back forward in there. So all you have to do is tap forward by the time the kick lands, and you get an instant DSS. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get that right now. Something like that. I can get a little bit faster. Something like that, where you get the +16. So if you can do it fast enough, or a true DSS as I like to call it, you can end up getting a 2 that's guaranteed. And again, the counter hit 3+4 launcher, which is also excellent. I want to go back to slides real quick. I want to talk about slides one more time. When it comes down to a slide, a lot of people, they telegraph the slide. I mean, sometimes you want to telegraph the slide in certain ranges, like 0 range, 1 range, 2 range, because it hits, like when you slide into it, it has a deceptive hitbox and it'll hit you from very far. But when you're in the let's say you're in like range 4, range 3, you don't want to telegraph the slide, because that's the only option you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and set them up to do a slide, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by, like, when a certain range, that's the only thing that you can do, and a smart person will catch on to that, and then you'll end up getting hit. So I'm gonna go from around this range, and I'm gonna have them record. I'm gonna go ahead and record a slide. So if you're doing it like that, they're easily just going to go ahead and launch you forward. So it's not recommended. But what I can tell you, if you want to mask a slide, I learned this tip from Rift as well. I believe in Tag 2. And I mastered it around Season 1 of Tekken 7. You can actually sidestep either way into the slide. So the way it makes it easier, since I'm playing on the right player side and I'm pressing down to sidestep to his right, well, to his left, well, my left, his right, you go ahead, as you hit down, you just go ahead and start the input. Now for the slide input, if you know play Street Fighter, this is the best way I can reference it. You go ahead and duck, and you do a quarter circle motion twice, really quickly, and you'll get a crouch dash motion. And after you see that crouch dash motion, oops, you go ahead and input the slide. So, but in this instance, you're just going to sidestep, and you're going to go ahead and input it. It's really easy to do, and it masks that slide, so it's really unreactable in certain ranges. So let's say you want to get that quick kill, you just go ahead and input that down input, and you slide. That was a little bit slow, but like, you want to make it as seamless as possible, like that, and you go ahead and get that extra damage. And it because you get a guarantee follow up after that, so you get a guarantee you get a 3. So that's another tip I want to impart to people about that's playing Law or dealing with Law, and you see them constantly sidestepping. Be wary of that slide, because it can happen. His throw game is phenomenal. This is a quick tutorial, by the way, a quick guide. He has a 1+2, a launching 1+2, 1+2 throw. Trash, my bad. Let me try something else. Oh my god. So he has a launching 1+2 throw. He has his Oki is not the greatest, but I'm gonna go to these throws. He has another 1+2 throw, which gives better Oki with the down forward 1+2. Now you can also get an extension, which will give you better Oki, and this is it's this grab, and you end up hitting the 1+2 again. What's 1+2, 1+2? That's the extension, and you end up getting a DDT. He has his typical generic 2 throw, his 1 throw, which is the one throw is really good at the wall because it gives a wall splat and it gives you some good Oki options afterwards. He has this one throw, which is a 2+3 break. It's a forward 2+3. So there's that. His throw game is very complete, and the thing about the one break is very deceptive because he doesn't use his arms. So if you're trying to tech that by arms, you're not going to be able to see it. Like all his other throws, it has the typical animation, so you'll be able to see it easy. But this throw, it leads with the leg in. So if they're not paying attention, they'll get grabbed by that all the time, and it does a good amount of damage. So there's that. Now, his Oki options are really not that great in my opinion. Like I was saying earlier in the beginning of the video, he's a very stand-up heavy character. He likes to, to me, I see as he likes to poke at you from there and make you make a mistake by panicking. But as far as his Oki, I guess you could say the slide mix-up is his best chance of Oki, especially on Wake Up. You don't have to go for the guaranteed get up 3, and you just want to leave him right there and put him in the same situation over again. As far as grounded hits, let's say you can go for another down, off axis. I'll say another down back 3 would suffice. 4, 3+4. He does have a tech catch. I'm not that good at using it. There's a person named Rip. He excels at using it. This is one of the first person I've seen do it in Tekken 6, where he does a jump. He does a delayed hop kick off of a tech catch. It's a really good tool, and it leaves you on back turn, so you can go for more shenanigans. And speaking of his back turn, let's go over his back turn options real quick. His back turn options they're good, but only on hit. So in both situations, if you do the down back 4, it leaves you at +7. So of course you get your hop kicks and stuff like that, and it stops them from ducking. And on the back 4, you get the hop kick option, and you get another low option. So it's a mix-up option. But this can be blown up if somebody just happens to press buttons. So you get the mix, and you get a mid option. So you get the best. You get all the you got a couple of options off of it, but it's not something that I would say I would like base my gameplay off of. So like, let me go ahead and get a back turn mix up if I need a quick launcher or something like that. But it is accessible if you need it. So don't be shy. Go ahead and use it and things of that nature. Another thing about Law, I don't really cover most of the things you'll be using with Law. Well, I could talk about his punishment real quick. So again, like I said at first, at 10 you get 1-1-2. At 11 you get 3-4. At 12 you get 3-4. At 14 you get back 4. At 15 you get launcher, down forward 2, and you get hop kick. Now his while standing punishers, at 11 you get while standing 4. At 12 or 13, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. No, at 13 you get 1-2. Another good chunk of damage, and it wall splats if I'm not mistaken, so you can get some more damage. Yeah, clean wall splat. Or he gets getting a guaranteed mix-up or something like that. At 15, as we already stated, he gets his while standing 2. So when it comes to the character, there's not really much I can go over, but I will tell you how certain things that I would avoid doing, especially if you're at the beginner ranks or intermediate ranks. So when I mean by beginner ranks, I'm talking about anywhere from silver to, I'll say, orange, or I'll say like light orange, like Vanquisher or Destroyer, and intermediate from like, I'll say, Savior to purple ranks, and from, I say, like advanced to a certain degree, I'll say what, blue ranks to gold ranks. Things you want to avoid is abusing the Dragon Tail. I mean, it's a very, the risk isn't worth it. I mean, you get a chunk of damage, or you can go for the Oki setup, which is guaranteed with the 3+4, but it's not really worth the struggle, or it's not really worth the punishment you'll get if somebody blocks it. So it's not really worth it. I would just go ahead and go for his down back 3 a lot, his 3+4. Be careful with this too, because people can duck it. But it is 14 frames, and it starts off with 14 frames, so it's unseeable. It's definitely unseeable. But if they happen to duck it, you're getting launched because the second is a high. A lot of people say this character is scrubby, but at the highest levels, I can say that about every character, but at the highest level, this character is extremely difficult because everybody knows the matchup. Everybody knows to low parry the second hit of Junkyard because it's not a true block string. Everybody knows to duck this in general, so you're not going to get away with that. And everybody knows the basic law setup, so like this character's been overused, but at the beginner stages, so you have to really be creative with your offense. And believe it or not, take your time. Wait for your counter hits and all that good stuff like that. I know I've been talking kind of fast. This is my first time trying to use this format, so I just want to just go over like a free-flowing of how I think about Law and how I play Law and my ideology when I'm playing with Law. The character to me is, like I said in my tier list, I'll link that in the description below. It's still a S tier character. It's just the fact that everybody knows this matchup strong. It's not like he's not really gimmicky. And when I speak of gimmicks, his only get off tool, which is extremely launch punishable, is down 2-3. It does a shit ton of damage, but if they block it, it's minus 15, so you're getting launched by pretty much a good chunk of the cast. Another thing I did talk about while I'm thinking about counter hits, he does have quite a few counter hits. You're not going to see it that often because nobody really thinks of using these, but he does have down 3 plus 4 3. Counter hit guaranteed. Down forward 4-3. Counter hit guaranteed. So 12 frame counter hit guaranteed. 12-13 frame. Excuse me. And you get some monstrous damage off this stuff too. And I cannot do it for whatever reason. Maybe because I'm recording. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot do it. I can't do it anymore. There we go. So yeah, you get some crazy damage off this stuff. I could talk about his rage for a little bit, for a small second. I'll go ahead and wrap it up in a few minutes. So when it comes to rage and it comes to Law, his rage is not, his options in rage are not that good. I mean, I put him on guard all for a second so you see what I'm talking about. His Dragon Tail, his Rage Drive Dragon Tail is pretty good. It wall splats, so in certain situations, you can get a guaranteed combo off of it. It gives a clean wall splat, so you get some guaranteed extra damage off of it. But if it's blocked, it's -9, so I'll just show you that real quick. Oops. So if it's blocked, it's -9, so it's not really worth it. I mean, especially, it's scary at the wall, but other than that, I don't see any real use in using it. His Rage Art, which is 1+2, it does okay. I mean, it's a Rage Art, so I feel like it's the only place where a Law is kind of lackluster, and he doesn't have a Rage Drive like my main Kazuya, or a Rage Drive like Brian, or a Rage Drive like Zhao Yu, something that just make him borderline OP. But with that being said, his poking and his fundamental tools are so good that he really doesn't need it. So with all that being said, I think I covered everything that you need to know as far as learning Laws, the basics, fundamental strategy as far as poking instead of just doing random down 2-3s or launch punishable lows, and if you're one of those people that like the hop kick, I highly advise that you just down forward 2 instead. The hop kick can be sidestepped on both sides, but the down forward 2 can only be sidestepped to the left, and it's one of those options you rather use because a lot of people like to sidestep Law to the right side. And a lot of his stuff will miss on the right side, so it's good to go ahead and throw that down forward 2 out a couple of times. And you can use it as more of a defensive tool, even though it's -7. Use it more as a defensive tool and keep yourself safe other than using a hop kick. I mean, the hop kick hits the low crushing properties, but it's -13, and a lot of characters at 13 frames get a knockdown. So characters like Kazuya, Hiachi, Jin, and you in a world of trouble if they get that knockdown, especially Oki heavy characters. So as I was stating before, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right now, go ahead, when it comes down to your offensive strategy, go ahead and use the down forward 1, the 1-1-2. You can go ahead and mix up with some of his high mid strings. Definitely abuse the down back 3, down back 4, down back 2 if you want to. It's +7, so if you want to go into the back turn mix up. Back 4 definitely if you want to keep opponent from stepping. This is definitely going to help you in the intermediate and the advanced ranks as far as like the purple and blues. They definitely help. because people like to step a lot. Those ranks, they'll do something like this. They'll do something like step or step, and they'll keep trying to step after they do a hit. You shut all that down. Especially a lot of the people, when it comes down to playing Tekken, they don't sidestep block. They just go ahead and side walk and end up getting hit. So those are things that'll help you with Law. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like the tutorial, you want me to talk about other characters and I guess strategy and the basics of the character, I'll definitely be willing to make more. Until then, I'll see you next time, and peace.